365 Sports.
The Colts were the first team in NFL history to start 8-2 and miss the playoffs.
Yes, it was a frustrating season as a Colts fan. Really, really disappointed with how things turned out, with how they were going. But there's, as the Cowboys say, there's always next year. So.
Oh, that's too funny. Yep, that's true. Well, I'm Kevin. He's Liam. We're happy to present 365 Sports Indiana as part of the 365 Sports Network.
Welcome back. This episode we will take a look back at the season that was and find the bright spots and hand out awards. So, go all in.
Yes, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at 365 Sports Indiana, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes. We are back 7-1 with the only loss being on 3 plays in LA against the Rams, all because of one person.
Well,
two of them.
Not two of them, yes. And then the other one, there were only 10 defenders on the field, and the one who was covering the guy tripped. During that time, the offense was putting up absolutely historic numbers. We're talking like Peyton Manning never did this with the Colts. No organization ever had done some of the things that the numbers that they were putting up.
Yep, this is very true. I remember seeing that, and I was very pleased myself. Then the Steelers game was kind of exposing. 6 turnovers in that game, but the Colts beat the Falcons in Germany before the bye, so kind of like pretty good bounce back there.
Yep. Then the Chiefs debacle, and Daniel Jones fractured his fibula and eventually tore his Achilles against the Jaguars.
The team elected to pull in Grandpa Phil and proceeded to continue their 7-game losing streak to end the season.
Yes, and so with all of that, we're going to dive into more of some of the brass tacks in another episode. But let's celebrate the season it was, and we're going to hand out our own Colts awards to the Colts players we believe fit these categories. First up, Offensive Player of the Year, brought to you by Joi Baby Sleep Sacks. One of these offensive players made the other team stay up all night trying to play him for him, but Joi Baby Sleep Sacks can help you put your little one to bed. Click the link in the description for more. Who is your Offensive Player of the Year?
See, there's 2 routes that I thought about here, both being whenever the player did not perform, they did not play well at all. One being Daniel Jones with his QBR of over 100.
Yep.
They didn't really win without that. But I think the Colts are a run offense. I think it has to be JT. The numbers he was putting up at the beginning of the season, and still to have great numbers at the end of the season, with him only actually being good at the beginning of the season, is still crazy to me. Just the fact that his numbers were still up there with the best running backs, even with all these circumstances, is crazy to me. So I think he has to get it.
All right. I got to go with Alec Pierce. Every single year. And I remember there was that one year, I think after his rookie season, you wrote him off. And then you had to come back after our second season and kind of eat some crow. And and you did a great job. You handled it well. But he's over 1,000 yards, and still for the second season in a row led in yards per catch.
Yeah,
that's just amazing.
And it's not like last season he had like 400 yards. No, he had about 900 yards receiving. He didn't cross the 1,000, so like no one really noticed it.
Yeah.
I saw something that was like most defensive pass interference calls on them, and like Pierce was towards the top, and everybody was hating on people and stuff like that. I'm like, this just means like it's most penalty yards drawn, like yards drawn. And I was like, this is just because they run deep routes. I want to see how many of those didn't matter because he still caught the ball.
Right. Usually, I think that stat would be the accepted penalties. It doesn't include the ones that were picked up. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Um,
that would be an entirely different stat and one that deserves some credibility because of his ability to still catch through contact. So,
yeah. He reminds me so much, and vice versa, remind me so much of Charlie Becker.
hmm
Like the similarities in those two is like
yeah,
eerily similar. Surratt and Pittman very similar, except I
yep,
think Surratt's a little bit better. That's just me.
yeah. Well, you mentioned defense, so it's time for our defensive player of the year. Who wins your DPOY?
Once again, I have two people I can go here. I believe there's another award that I want to give someone to, though.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with one of them. I'm going to go Cam Bynum. I think he was always there, always showed up, ready to play, always making bigger plays, stopping running backs at the third level, um, getting interceptions, playing some pretty decent defense. There was times whenever he wasn't, but he was a staple in the defense. Uh, um, I wish I could say Ward because he was my personal favorite pickup in the offseason, but he was just so injured towards the latter half of the year. Same with Sauce. So, like, it's hard to say those two. But I got to go Bynum here.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the other safety position. I almost went Kenny Moore because I think he played enough, and when he was gone, kind of like a couple years ago, I gave it to Grove because he was out and it was
Yeah.
such a big deal. But I'm gonna say Nick Cross, especially because he's making it difficult. You got two guys now in this same draft class that need paid this year, and we'll get more on that next week as we dive into some roster construction stuff. But you got Cross and Pierce, both the guys I've mentioned so far. They're both the same draft class, both at the end of the rookie contract, and now they need paid. And with what the Colts have spent both in money and draft capital, I'm not sure if they have what it takes to do that without letting go of some other pieces that they may not want to. Although, as you mentioned, Pittman seems like a great opportunity to let him go, especially with Surratt coming into the draft this year. Maybe
Build
keep
him
the man
young.
in Indiana. All right, that leads us to our most improved player of the year, brought to you by Open Goal Rebounder and Goal Setup. Perfect for your backyard. Balls come right back to you, just like this player. Click the link in the description for more. Who is your most improved player?
I talked to you a lot about it offline. I've been very proud of this guy and the strides that he's taken because he was a backup last year. Then Lou came on the scene. He was like, "Hey, you're a starter now." Latu, first round pick a couple of years ago. I am very proud of the strides he was making. I've said all along that if he had the snaps that Jared Verse had, then he would be better than Jared Verse, and he would have won Defensive Rookie of the Year that year. Um, but that's all hindsight now. But I think this guy has improved so much. I'm very happy with the strides he's taken, and I love like there's sometimes where you put him back in coverage, he seems a little lost, but whenever he's not lost, he's there. He's on the guy he needs to be on. So, very huge props to Latu there.
I could not agree with you more, but I'm going to give you a different answer for a little bit of variety here. I'm going to give you this guy.
The gauntlet as they march it right down Pittsburgh's throat.
We saw it there. We got a glimpse, and but he didn't get to start. Obviously, he had moments as Ryan Kelly was in and out of the lineup last year, but he structured and quarterbacked that line so tremendously, and the line was kind of piecemealed, especially toward the end there, and he kept everything together. There was Wesley French, there was Danny Pinter who could play center, but Bortolini was the man Tanner Bortolini is the center moving forward until further notice, and just the way that he orchestrated that line. The trenches do not get nearly enough attention, as we've talked about, lately. And so he is my most improved player. That leads us to the Rookie of the Year. And maybe we didn't quite get as much of this as we needed because Justin Wally went out in camp. Hunter Wohler went out in camp. So you had a couple rookies that were looking really good in camp that didn't quite make it. So we're probably on the same guy here. Who's your Rookie of the Year for the Colts?
I don't think it would have mattered either way. Tyler Warren is exactly the piece that we needed on offense. He took us to that next level. And so it's got to be him. You could throw, you can run, you can catch, and you can block. Like, that's exactly what you want out of a tight end. I mean, maybe not the throwing and running part, but that definitely helps.
Right. My only hesitation here is I don't know that he was used enough. I don't know that he was used enough in a variety of different ways.
I think, in my opinion, he should have been the second most targeted receiver on the Colts. I don't think it should have been Pittman. I think it should have been Pierce, Warren, Downs, Pittman.
I think you're correct. I don't know why they needed to run the fancy motion surprise QB sneak tush push. If you have Tyler Warren on your team, he's your tush push guy. This is what we're seeing more and more. Anything other than the Eagles, but even the Eagles do it now, where they'll run a tight end for the tush push. Warren is 6'6" and 250, 260. Give the man the ball, put it in your hands, and let's do the thing. Dive forward. You're going to get it. He is a bigger, stronger version of Josh Allen. And let him throw the ball a little bit. Create some plays like that. Just like you would design plays for a running quarterback that are designed runners, design runs. You have to kind of design some pass plays for your multifaceted tight end. And I don't know if that was just...
Are you saying he might be a Taysom Hill?
I'm saying that what I say about the tight end position all the time, that the line from Remember the Titans, we got ourselves a football player. The tight end position is the definition of all things football. They run, they block, they catch, and this one can throw on top of it. Are you kidding me? This is a football player. This guy, if you the second you draft Tyler Warren, you're picking up the fifth year option. You're signing the second contract. You're probably signing the third contract. Let's get it. I mean, if he can be good enough to be your emergency quarterback because you running that low, let's go. Let's do it. And if he's good enough to be your emergency quarterback, you should have plays in your playbook specifically designed for his skill set. And I don't know if that was done enough. I'm not sure if it was just them wanting to hold back or thinking that he needed held back. But from what I've heard, he took everything in the playbook and was ready for anything.
Yeah.
Keep adding to it until you find his breaking point. Until then, just keep giving him more. He's a football player.
Mm-hmm.
That leads us to the Coach of the Year, brought to you by Hounds, healthy dog treats. They can help you train your puppy like a country mountain dogs. Who brought out the training this year for the Colts? This cannot be the head coach. We're not going to do that. But any coordinator, any position, who was your Coach of the Year?
I would go a specific coach, but I'm not going to go them because I have something for that later.
Okay.
I want to say Lou Anarumo, but there were times where his defense just didn't step up, and it wasn't their fault. It was his. Played soft coverage. It's in the house. If they score, okay, at least you tried. you're playing soft coverage and they're still scoring. That's disappointing to me.
Yeah.
So I can't say Lou for that reason. But there was a core of guys who made huge strides. One in particular that we already talked about. That being, I think, the coach of the year is Reggie Wayne, wide receiver coach. I think that group of guys, especially Pierce, took big strides. Warren's in there now because, you have receiving stuff. So, and why wouldn't you want to learn from Reggie? And get the guy in the Hall of Fame. Come on.
Come on. I agree. It's Reggie Wayne. It's got to be. He was the only coach kept from one coaching staff to another, from one owner to another, and survive multiple different coaching changes. I don't know if he wants to. I don't know if he has the desire to. But I firmly believe he could step up to an offensive coordinator at some point, at some level. I don't know if he has the desire to. I don't know that he doesn't just love to be in the receiver room. And that's fine too, because he's just that good at it. I've heard the receivers just absolutely love him, and how could you not? They watch cut-ups of him back in his day, and he talks to them about how he did it. And they learn so much from how he did it and how they can do it. And he believes in the guys. He believed in Adonai Mitchell when no one else did. No one. And I think he probably still believes in Adonai Mitchell, and maybe was one of the guys holding back on that trade before it happened. He's a molder of young talent, and because he remembers, because he was there. I think the only thing bad about Reggie Wayne right now, in this particular moment, is he's from this place. That's it.
Yeah, that is. Right. So it's a little down, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. He's going to get it done tonight.
That leads us to the MVP of the Colts season. Who was it for you?
I was thinking if I could do a coach here, and I think that we talked about the only good coach. Can't give it to Shane. His coaching was so bad later in the season. Can't give it to the Ursay girls because they didn't fire the people they needed to. Chris Ballard could have saved his job, but didn't. I think that Sauce Gardner trade kind of put it down the drain. Technically, he saved his job, I guess. So I just don't think you can put it on any administration or staff. I think it has to be a player. But I can't choose a specific player because I've kind of listed a whole bunch of players that I really enjoy. So I'm going to go with the offensive line as a whole. There's no one specific player that I can point out. I mean, if I had to, I guess it'd be Q because he was the only constant there. But that's why I'm choosing the whole offensive line. He was the only constant because no matter who they put in, who they were slotted where, the offensive line, in my opinion, was still a top 5 offensive line in the league, which I've been preaching for a while now, ever since JT had his, 2020 or 21. Whatever, his rookie season and the season where he got the 2,000 yards. Those I've been preaching ever since then. That this offensive line is for real. I'm very proud of how they've stood together as a group of brothers. You kind of want that from a team. I feel like that didn't happen all the time for the Colts, but the offensive line definitely stuck together like glue. And I think that they were even whenever they put Grandpa Phil back there, who cannot run to save his life, they were still only 1-2 sacks a game, which is crazy because Philip is standing in the pocket and he is not moving. Yeah. So huge props to the offensive line as a whole.
My MVP of the Colts season has to be number 1 in touchdowns scored, I think, in the entire league. Is this correct? Jonathan Taylor. Now, it obviously was going clear up, and then it just went way down. But if you look at the reason it was way down, it was one of the things that you mentioned. It was after the injury to Daniel Jones, when Daniel Jones was not moving and he was not a threat to run. And so the offense came, instead of a multifaceted attack in different ways, it became either one thing or the other. It was an on-off switch. It was run or pass. There was no threat of RPO stuff or anything like that. It got even worse when you put Grandpa Phil back there, who is not moving at all. Yeah. So that allows allows the defense that you're playing against to stack the box, and there's less room, there's less options, and things like that. So if you look at when it turned, it was with that. And so I firmly believe if the Colts had still been able to maintain that, like with Riley Leonard, then you would have seen the numbers still go up. He probably would have broken LT's 3 touchdowns in single game record in a single season. Yeah. Probably would have broken some other records too. We'll never know because of an Achilles. It reminds us a little bit of another Achilles injury.
Yep, Indiana's just cursed with Achilles.
Yes, but there's a chance that all changes. But that's our uplifting version. Next time we'll talk about the Colts. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming contracts and the decisions and the decisions that were made and weren't made and what we think about some of that stuff. So stick with us, but that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow or sometime later this week with our Unstable Pick 6 NFL Conference Championship predictions for the week. Then later this week, we will have our recap of the College Football National Championship game, Candy Stripe Clear Out, and with the look at IU basketball, and finish off the week with a Keep the Pace update on the Pacers.
Yeah, well, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to say 365 Sports Indiana.
365 Sports.